Hare Hare
Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, you can begin.
Can Hare Krishna. So some devotees can unmute and sing with me. Some devotees with me. So we'll sing from here. Nautam Prabhu and Chaitanya Prabhu, may I start?
Please begin, Prabhuji.
Jai Sachinandan Shri Gaur Sundar Bhagwan ki jai. Shri Gaur Purnima Mahotsav ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Sri Panchatattva Bhagwan ki, Sri Mayapur Navadip Dham ki. Jai Radha Madhava Jai Hare Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha Shri Varadhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Shri Varadhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Yashodanandana Brajajana Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Yamuna Tira Jai Radha Madhava Shri Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Vasadi Gaura Jai Shri Krishna Jai Shri Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Vasadi Gaura Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare जय ओम श्रीमद प्रभु हम सपरिव्रज जगचार्य अष्टवक्र श्रीधर श्री कृष्ण भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की ओम श्रीमद प्रभु हम सपरिव्रज जगचार्य अष्टवक्र श्रीधर श्री कृष्ण भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल। श्री गौर पूर्णिमा महा उत्सव की जय। पतित पावन श्री सचिनंदन श्री गौर सुंदर भगवान की जय। श्री मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय। All glories to assemble devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. Glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Sri Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana चक्षुषुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मायं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवम् एतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देव श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखामृतं च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Peshnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Dinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktabinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today is the most auspicious appearance day of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaur Purnima, most auspicious day for the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Devotees coming in the line of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or we call it Gaudiya Dhara, in the line, Gaudiya line. Today is actually considered as a very auspicious because it's the appearance of Lord Chaitanya and is also considered as a new year. From here, all the new Vaishnava calendar starts for all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So the most auspicious, most special day, because it's a day when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears, supremely magnanimous, supremely merciful, and supremely compassionate incarnation or the avatar of the Supreme Lord. And in fact, the Supreme, this this appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada used to say, is actually a postgraduate study. Postgraduate study, because it requires a certain level of qualification, certain level of philosophical understanding of all the things, mercy of a pure devotee of Krishna, dust of a lotus feet of a Vaishnava. When you get that kind of mercy, one can actually understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When it gets the holy name in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, these are some of the qualification one needs to have. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, your video is also clear, audio is also clear.
Thank you. So I was mentioning that it requires this kind of mercy to understand this deep subject of Lord Chaitanya, and because of all the incarnations and the basic philosophy of Krishna consciousness. First of all, when we come in contact with the philosophy of the, because at the end of, when the Bhagavad Gita ends, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu begins from there. The teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ends from where, begins from where the Bhagavad Gita concludes its teaching. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, I feel very unqualified to speak on this subject, but it is such a deep subject. It is a subject which is connected to, as I was mentioning it, first of all, the philosophical part has to be very much clear in everyone's mind. The Krishna is the Supreme Lord. We are the soul, and the Lord is the super soul. And our relationship with Lord and redeveloping that lost relationship with the Lord is going to give us pleasure, happiness, and all fortune back in our life. One has to be convinced about the basic philosophy of Krishna consciousness, that we are not this body, we are spirit soul, and Krishna is the super soul. And getting in connected to the super soul the soul can derive happiness. Prabhupada gives an example that, when there is a motor, it has a screw on it. The screw itself has no value. If the screw is connected to the motor, then it has some value. If the screw fell down from the motor, then the screw doesn't have any value. In a similar way, the soul is actually to be connected to the super soul. When the soul is connected to the super soul, it has its own value and it's happy. If it's not, then there is another arrangement by the same Supreme Lord to keep the soul busy. Technically, we call it the world of Maya, where everyone thinks that he's a super soul. Where everyone thinks that he's a super soul. So when one understands this philosophy of Krishna consciousness, then above that comes the sadhana bhakti, the process of devotional service. The process of devotional service, Lord Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita. And he mentions that my devotees, those who are convinced about this philosophy, what do they do? Satatam kirtayantomam bhajatam priti purvakam. They're always engaged in my devotional service. They're always glorifying me. They're always hearing about me and discussing amongst themselves about me, and they're chanting my holy name. That is what the devotees of the Lord are doing. Once these things are clear, then it comes to the point wherein we can understand that the Supreme Lord is a person. Just like all of you here, I'm giving a class, but nobody is visible. But I'm convinced that there's a Zoom and the link is shared. Behind the link, people are sitting there. Some may be spacing out, putting in, and some are definitely listening. So I'm convinced of the fact that people are sitting there and I'm speaking. So that's why my speaking has some meaning for myself also. And my conviction is there that people are hearing. It's like that. Truth is the truth that I'm convinced people are there. So similar way, when we are convinced that the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is a person, he has a form, he has a personality, like all of us, but his personality is divine. And he has feelings. He has reciprocation with his devotees. He has reciprocation. Try to understand. The Supreme Lord, he also has reciprocations with his devotees. He has very happy to see the bus party group in the Juhu temple hall, temple room. So in a similar way, I was mentioning that we have to be convinced that the Lord is a person, he has feelings, he has exchanges with his devotees. And then after that, what comes is that he has his own internal desires, his emotions. Try to understand, the Krishna is a Supreme Lord, he's a person, and he also has emotions. Just all of us have emotions, Similarly, the Supreme Lord, he also has emotions. And when we talk about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is a subject matter of deep emotions of the Supreme Lord. Two aspects. Deep emotions of the Supreme Lord and his own compassion towards his devotee, towards his own devotees. Two aspects. That's why it's called Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He had two reasons. Two reasons of his appearance, which is today, Gaura Purnima. One is the external reasons, the other are the internal reasons of Lord's appearance. External reasons and the internal reasons of Lord's appearance. These are two reasons. So our acharyas, they explain the external reasons of Lord's appearance, they are actually connected to give mercy to the living entity, to give his compassion to the living entities, to uplift the soul and give them opportunity to come closer to him. The external reasons are connected in this way. to give the holy name, to give the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, to give the love of the spiritual world. These are called the external. There are three primary external and three internal reasons. I will not get into the details of them, but these are like the external reasons of the Lord. And in fact, it is said that in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord, he actually concludes the concluding verses of the Bhagavad Gita. The concluding verses of the Bhagavad Gita is 1865 and 1866. 18 chapter 65 hours, where the Krishna is mentioning Man mana bhava mad bhakto mad yaji mam namaskaro. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you of this because you are my very dear friend. Try to understand that the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is mentioning here that he is giving a promise here. If you see the translation, he's giving a promise here. I promise you, thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. What is he mentioning before that? He's mentioning, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homages unto me. Always think of me. That's the most important aspect. Always think of me. And this is the question one has to ask oneself, that how many of us are always thinking of Krishna? How many of us are always worshipping Krishna? How many of us are sincerely putting efforts to be devotee of Krishna? That is where the real philosophy is. That where are we putting these efforts? Are we sincere about these efforts? Because against this effort, against this process of always worshipping, thinking about him, Krishna is promising further. He's promising further. I promise you, thus you will come to me without fail. So it's very important that one has to be firstly convinced and then applying this. To them, the Lord is very, very merciful. And the next verse says, Sarva Dharman Parityajaya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Moksha Shami Masucha. Abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. This is what the Lord is promising. Abandon all. If you give up all varieties of religion and all varieties of processes which you are following, and if you surrender unto me, I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Of that, there is no fear. Do not fear. So in one way, even in this verse, the Lord is assuring. In the previous verse, he's giving a promise. And in this verse, he is actually assuring. He's assuring that he will definitely take care of you. These are like the external, as I was mentioning, external reason. Then our acharyas, they explain. See the beauty. Please try to understand. Try to understand this pastimes and the Lord's desires. Pay attention and understand them. That when the Lord spoke these verses of the Bhagavad Gita, and he went back to the spiritual world, over there, he was contemplating. Over there, he was thinking. Very seriously, he was thinking. What was he thinking? He was thinking that though I have spoken the Bhagavad Gita, I have spoken the Bhagavad Gita for the benefit of the mankind, for the benefit of the world, I have spoken the Bhagavad Gita. But what I'm able to see is nobody is able to practice the Bhagavad. Nobody is able to apply the teachings of Bhagavad Gita in their life. These are the thoughts of the Lord. These are the thoughts of Krishna. He is thinking like this. And while he was thinking like this, then he thought that what is really missing for them is that they are not able to understand how to practice my teachings. Thinking like this, the Lord thought that they have to be practically explained, practically exemplified. Someone has to demonstrate to them. Someone has to demonstrate to them that how they can offer their worships to me. How people in the world can become my devotee. I hope you are understanding that this is the thinking of the Lord, that how people in the world can become my devotee. So much concern the Lord is for us. In fact, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in 319, Adilila 319, if you have a screen, you can share it on the screen, moderator, or you can, if devotees can open on their phones also. Adilila 319. These are the verses. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is thinking, and then this is his thoughts. You can, if it's possible for all of you, some of you can unmute them and you can sing also with me. Yuga Dharma Pravartamo Nama Sankirtana Yuga Dharma Pravartamo Nama Sankirtana Chari Bhava Bhumi Diya Nachanu Bhuvana Chari Bhava Bhakti Diya Nachanu Bhuvana Apane Karimu Bhakta Bhava Angikare Apane Karimu Bhakta Bhava Angikare Apane Achari Kari Apane Achare Bhakti Sikha Sabare Apane Achare Bhakti Sikha Musabare Apane Dharma Shridananayaya Aparina Kaila Shridananayaya Gita Siddhanta Gita Bhagavat Gaya Gita Siddhanta Gita Bhagavat Gaya. So thinking in this way, the Lord thought, I shall personally inaugurate the religion of the age, Nam Sankirtan, the congregational chanting of the holy name. I shall make the world dance in ecstasy, realizing, releasing, realizing the 4 mellows of loving devotional service. Next verse. I shall accept the role of a devotee, and I shall teach devotional service by practicing it myself. So beautiful. The Lord, please try to understand, Lord is thinking like this for all of us. What is he thinking? I shall accept the role of a devotee, and I shall teach devotional services by practicing it myself. The next verse. Unless one practices devotional service himself, he cannot teach it to others. This conclusion is indeed confirmed throughout the Gita and the Bhagavata. So now you can see from here, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself, he is thinking that people in the material world, as I was mentioning, the people in the material world are suffering. They are not able to understand how they were supposed to practice devotion towards me. So now what I will do, I will go as my own devotee. I will become my own devotee, exemplify my devotion, and give this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the chanting of the holy name, to everyone, by which everyone will become devotees. And not only that, I will exemplify that devotion, how to worship. And moreover that, our scriptures, they explain one more very important thing. That Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, thinking in this way, he definitely came. But it is mentioned that, as I was mentioning, Lord Krishna was looking and seeing that people are not practicing devotional service properly. At that time, here right now, where I am sitting, Bengal was considered as the capital of religious practice. Bengal was considered the capital of the scholars of the whole world at that time. There resided, right here where I am, resided Lord Advaita Acharya in Navadip, in Nadia. So it is mentioned that Advaita Acharya, at the time, he was actually preaching to everyone in the material world. He was preaching everyone in the material world about practice of devotional service. But nobody was interested. So Advaita Acharya was contemplating that if this is how the world is going to continue and everyone is going to be sinful and not interested in devotional service, it is better that this world gets devastated and annihilation takes place before time. There is creation, there is maintenance, and there is annihilation. So the Lord thought that let the Advaita Acharya thought that let the annihilation take place if the people in the world are not interested in performing devotion. Thinking in this way, or the Lord has to appear and shower His mercy on the people in Kali Yuga, or let annihilation take place. And this is the way Advaita Acharya was thinking. And by his thinking, he actually offered prayers to the Supreme Lord, offered worship to Shaligram Shila and Ganga water, offered worship with Shaligram Shila, through the Shaligram Shila with Ganga water and Tulsi leaf. And the Lord was pleased and he appeared. The Lord was pleased and he appeared. So I was mentioning these are some of the external reasons of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The external reasons are connected for deliverance of the world. Deliverance of the world. But then there are deep internal reasons of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. Now these deep internal reasons, they have a very, very deep connection to the Lord's deep emotion. Though I'm very unqualified to explain, but you can hear them and you can introspect yourself and understand. It goes into the pastimes of the Lord. All of you know, when the Supreme Lord appeared, we all have the prayers of Lord Narasimhadev. When the Supreme Lord appeared at Lord Narasimha, Prahlad Maharaj, his great devotee, was harassed by Hiranyakashipu, who was a demonic father. Hiranyakashipu was a demonic father who was against Prahlad performing devotion to Lord Vishnu. And we know the pastime goes ahead how Prahlad was harassed to be a devotee and he was sent to a demonic school where everyone was teaching him, selfish politics, being demonic, being cruel, punishing people. They were teaching him all these things, and Prahlad was not interested in all these things. And Prahlad was again and again worshipping the Supreme Lord, and in fact, he preached the all Gurukul teachers and also the students to become the Lord devotees of Lord Vishnu. When this went to Hiranyakashipu, the great demon, Hiranyakashipu first gave a lot of warnings to Prahlad, but Prahlad was not ready to give up devotion towards the Supreme Lord. So his father decided that instead of having such a son, it's better to be without a son, and he decides to kill Prahlad. And we all read in the Srimad Bhagavatam that Hiranyakashipu, he makes arrangement to give Prahlad poison and kill him with poison. But the Lord protects him. Then after that, the Lord gives him, Hiranyakashipu actually puts him in fire. But Prahlad Maharaj is protected by the Lord. He decides to throw him out from above the mountain. And he tells his soldier, take this sinful son who is my biggest enemy, who is a devotee of my biggest enemy. Take him and throw him from the mountain. And the soldiers of Hiranyakashipu, they go up above the mountain and throw Prahlad from there. The Lord protects him from that also. In this whole course, Hiranyakashipu gets so much agitated that he tells Prahlad that though I'm putting so much of efforts to kill you, who is protecting you? What does he say? Who is protecting you? What does he say? Yeah. So then Prahlad Maharaj, with great humiliation, with great humility and humble, says, my Lord, the strength of my energy and your energy is the same Supreme Lord. By his will, I can be alive. By his will, I can die dead. Until he wishes, nobody can kill me. Until he wishes, I cannot be alive on my own. When Hiranyakashipu heard this, he got more furious. He said, where the hell is this Lord? He said. And then he pointed out at the pillar. And from there, we know Lord Narasimhadev appears and he kills Hiranyakashipu. Now, after killing Hiranyakashipu, Lord Narasimhadev was not pacified. He was so angry. He was making such a roaring in a half lion and a half human form that everyone felt, all the demigods and all the living entities, they felt as if annihilation is going to take place. Devastation is going to take place. All the demigod headed towards Brahma, who's the creator, the forefather of all the demigods, and told him, please pacify Narasimhadev. Brahma saw Narasimhadev's form. He said, not in my control. And they said, let's go to the concert, Lakshmi Devi. Let's tell Lakshmi Devi, please control your husband. Lakshmi saw the form of Lord Narasimhadev. She ran away from there. She said, I cannot touch my Lord in this form. And then the demigods, they all went to Prahlad. And they told Prahlad, do something. The Lord is angry because you've been harassed. Please control your Supreme Lord. To this, it is mentioned that Lord Prahlad, he actually takes a beautiful garland and he pays obeisances to Lord Narasimhadev. As soon as some part of his helmet and head touches the feet of Lord Narasimha, Narasimha becomes completely cooled down. He becomes completely cooled down. He takes Prahlad on his lap, just like a lion takes a cub, and he starts licking Prahlad. Now that, a very beautiful revelation is there by our acharyas. What is that? Our acharyas, they explain that when Lord Narasimhadev was licking Prahlad like a lion, he was very, very, very happy to see Prahlad's devotion and surrender and love towards him. One more thing what the Lord notices, not everywhere mentioned. All of you want to know what is that? What Lord Narasimhadev noticed?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So Lord Narasimhadev noticed that Prahlad is appearing to be more happy than me. Though I am so happy by accepting devotion of Prahlad, I have appeared to please. I have appeared to reciprocate to the devotion of Prahlad because I'm so pleased with him. But the Lord could see that Prahlad is more happy than the Lord. By being a devotee of Lord, Prahlad looks more happy. So this was there in the heart of the Lord. That what is it that Prahlad looks so happy? In his next pastimes is Lord Ramachandra. We all know in Ramayana, when Lord Ramachandra was told that you're supposed to go for 14 years to the Vanvas and Bharat will become the king. Lord Ramachandra, like a royal king, royal personality, like a Raja Rishi, taking the order of the father on his head, he goes and he preaches to Mother Sita. The Ramayana, it explains that when Lord Ramachandra goes to Mother Sita, he just speaks that it's a daily affair. He tells that my father, he gave 2 boons to Mother Kaikai. And for the first boon, he asked for me to go for 14 years of Vanvas. And second boon, he wants Bharat to become the king. And you know how Bharat is. He's such a great person and he glorifies Bharat. And how Bharat is qualified to become the king. After mentioning this, then he tells Mother Sita that you should take care of my mother, Kaushalya. She will be very deprived if I go. And as a duty, you do this. Mother Sita, when she heard this, she had actually continuously tears flowing from her heart. First, to see how her husband is so detached. And second, that he's leaving her and going. So Mother Sita tells that, my dear Lord, you also have this order of your father. But let me tell you, the order of my father. The order of my father is from today, since on my marriage was that from today, Ram is half of you. You are living to serve Rama. All his pains are yours, half, and all his pleasures are yours, half. And you should always be with him. So I have to follow my father's order. If you are going like this, then I also would like to follow you. When Lord Ramchandra preaches Mother Sita, Sita, don't come. And then Ramayana explains that how Lord Ramachandra describes the difficulties in the jungle, uncertain weathers, and the wild animals. Mother Sita says, fine, but at least you allow me to leave my body right now so that I can die and then you can go, or either I go with you. Lord Ramachandra takes Mother Sita with him. But right before he is planning to take her, Lakshman comes. Lakshman tells that you are not going anywhere. You will become the king. At today morning on the sunrise, as scheduled, as announced in the whole Ayodhya, as preparation is happening for your Raj Abhishek, you will become the king. Nobody can stop you. Let the ministers come. Let Bharat come, who's got the boon. Let Shatrughan come. I will kill everyone. Forget about everyone. Even today, Dashrath comes and Lakshman actually removes his sword and shows to Lord Rama. Even if Dashrath comes, at the strength of my sword, my Lord, you will become the king. And the pastime goes on how Lord Ramachandra chastises that we cannot do that. You can take the kingdom for yourself, but I don't need it. Then Lakshman actually begs Lord Rama to take him with him. And then Bharat comes. Bharat pastimes is so unique, so special, because it is mentioned in the material world of all the things people are crazy and mad about power and money, position and money. And Bharat was made the king of practically the whole planet. He was announced as the king of the whole planet. He rejects that. This is the most uncertain thing. You see today the whole world is fighting. Brothers are fighting for the property. Communities are fighting for their position. Countries are fighting for the piece of land. And brother rejects this and go to the jungle and gets Lord Ramachandra back. Lord Ramachandra is not ready to come. Then he brings the padukas of Lord Rama, putting them on his head, and he comes back, puts them on the throne, worships them. As resembling Lord Rama and a servant of Lord Rama, he actually takes care of Ayodhya. And then in this way, so many other devotees like Guhu, Hanuman, they all are there in Ramayana. Now, what the point I was trying to tell you on this auspicious day of Sri Gaur Purnima is that Lord Ramachandra was having the same feeling what Lord Narasimhadev had. That, what is it? He saw that Mother Sita is ready to worship and give up everything. Lakshman, ready to do anything for the pleasure of Lord Rama. Bharat gives up everything for the pleasure of Lord Rama. The Lord Rama was very, very pleased, but he experienced the same thing that though I am so pleased with their devotion, but why is it that my devotees look more happy than me? What did he feel? He felt my devotees are more happy than me. What is it that my devotees are more happy than me? By being my devotees, I am satisfied. I am satisfied by accepting their devotion. But what is it that my devotees are more happy than me? This is also left here. And then what to speak about the pastimes of Vrindavan in the next avatar, in the next Leela, when Lord comes, appears in Vrindavan as a cowherd boy, does his pastimes. So many beautiful pastimes are performed in Vrindavan. It is said when the Lord experienced the devotion of the devotees of Vrindavan, it practically flooded, broke all the boundaries of his devotion. It broke all the boundaries. It attracted the Supreme Lord so much. It is mentioned, the pastimes of Vrindavan are also like that. It is, they are so sweet, they are so nectarian, they are so, so loving. When you hear them, you just fall in love with the Supreme Lord. It is like that between the Lord and his devotees. In fact, we all know Lord Krishna, Lord Krishna, he used to actually steal butter. Lord Krishna used to steal butter. We all know it is very famous. One day, the elderly gopis of Vrindavan, they felt that maybe Mother Yashoda, she actually takes the best quality of the butter, makhan, and she sells it. And she doesn't keep it for Krishna. So and he is always stealing our butter. Let us do one thing. Let us voluntarily give him butter this time. What we'll do? We'll give him butter voluntarily this time. Let us not make him steal. Let us not put Nanda Baba, Mother Yashoda into humiliating situation. So let us give voluntarily little butter to him. So when Krishna was going with the cowherd boys in the morning, so the elderly gopis called him, Krishna, Kanaya, come here. Please come here. We have kept the best quality of the butter which we had churned yesterday night. And we want to offer that butter to you today. Krishna saw all the butter. Krishna saw all the butter which the gopis planned, the best quality of butter, to give it to Krishna. Krishna saw that and he looked at them angrily. And he told them, what do you think? I'm a beggar or what? What do you think? I'm a beggar or what? What do you think? I don't have my own butter or what? Do you know who am I? Do you know who am I? I am the son of that great Nanda Maharaj who has 9 lakh cows. I'm a beggar. Take your butter away. And he walks away from me. And the gopis, they got so angry. So angry. They felt like tying Krishna, putting him on the tree upside down. But then after a while, they were more happy to even hear that angry words of Krishna. In fact, our Acharya explained one more pastime of Krishna and Vrindavan. One day, Krishna was playing with a coin. And Mother Yashoda, she thought that he will lose the coins. So she took that one coin which he was playing with. She took away that coin and kept it. And Krishna started crying and fell on the floor and crying. Mother Yashoda tried to preach him. By that time, Nanda Baba came. And Nanda Baba asked him, Kanhaiya, what happened? Lala, what happened? Then Krishna very angrily protested against Mother Yashoda and complained about her, that she was doing her job, I was doing my job. She has to be busy with her job, I have to be busy with my job. Why she has to interfere with what I am doing? And she took away my coin. So Nanda Baba smiled, oh, this is not good, Mother Yashoda. Then she calls Krishna, he puts a hand in his pocket and removes some coins and gives 4, 5, 10 coins to Krishna. Krishna just pushes all the coin off. He said, I don't need all this coin. I want my coin only, which she has taken away. Then Mother Yashoda looks at Nanda Baba and they all smile amongst themselves. And our acharyas, they explain that Krishna is Lakshmi Narayan, the husband of Lakshmi, crying for a one petty coin. In this way, Vrindavan pastime goes on. In fact, after the Vrindavan pastimes, Lord Krishna, he leaves Vrindavan to kill Kamsa. He leaves Vrindavan to kill Kamsa. And it is said that our acharyas, they explain that while he is leaving Vrindavan to kill Kamsa, he tells the devotees of Vrindavan, don't worry, I will come back one day. Very soon I will come back. But then from there he goes, after killing Kamsa in Mathura, he goes to Dwarika and builds a palace there and is residing there. And Krishna has one cousin named Uddhava. Krishna sends Uddhava to Vrindavan and tells that though I gave a promise to the devotees of Vrindavan, I'm going to come back. You do one thing. You go and preach to them and tell them that very soon I'm going to come back. So Uddhava comes to Vrindavan and everyone is very surprised that Uddhava used to look like Krishna actually. So he goes and meets Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba. And they're already very old, Nanda Baba and Mother Yashoda. So when they come to know Uddhava has come, Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba, they're actually very curiously asking about Krishna. They're very curiously asking about Krishna. They were asking, is Krishna taking care of his health? Is Krishna eating on time? He is very, very careless. If he's busy with any other activity, he will forget eating also. In this way, Krishna is very, very much to be taken care here. Mother Yashoda used to timely feed him and always used to prepare, and he used to not like, she used to again prepare. In this way, he was always taken care. He's taking care of himself nicely. When actually Uddhava heard this, he felt very pity. Uddhava felt pity on the ignorance of Nanda Baba and Mother Yashoda. And then in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are verses. There are some 20, 30 verses, shlokas after shlokas, wherein Uddhava is actually preaching to Nanda Baba and Mother Yashoda that, do you know who is the Supreme Lord, your Kanhaiya Krishna? He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the controller of the three worlds. All creation and annihilation, all the demigods are manifesting from him. The whole three worlds are created by him. Once we created the universe is coming from the pores of Lord Vishnu. The Lord enters in every universe. And then not only that, he creates the living entities. And as the Paramatma, he enters into the heart of every living entity. All of you know Paramatma, right? In the heart. So they preach to, Uddhava actually preaches like this to Nanda Baba and Mother Yashoda. And Nanda Baba and Mother Yashoda are village people sitting shocked, in a complete state of shock, thinking that, what has happened to Uddhava suddenly. Now, after this, Nanda Baba and Mother Yashoda, actually Nanda Baba speaks to Uddhava. And that is very touching. He tells them that, dear Uddhava, today our anxiety has increased more. Because we used to think that you are with Krishna, so Krishna is safe. But today we realize that, Uddhava, you have grown by size. You understand size? You have grown by size. You have big head, you have big arms, big body. But by intelligence, you have become you are very small, still small. You are talking this Krishna who used to shiver when there used to be a thunder in the night. Let me tell you one more pastime I spoke a few days ago in connection to this. When Krishna used to go to the jungles, the Yashoda, No, Nanda Baba used to, as I was telling last time to, and I think in the online devotees were there, Nanda Baba used to speak, he used to have his assembly, all the cowherd men would come there and Krishna would tell the pastime. Nanda Baba would tell the pastimes. And all the residents of Vrindavan would come and sit whole day here, Krishna's pastimes. So one day over there, Nanda Baba told, you know what happened yesterday? Yesterday, Krishna was sleeping and there was a big thunder. And when the thunder came, continuously it was thundering Krishna. We just woke up and we saw Krishna was not there between me and Yashoda. And when we saw, there was something shivering below the bed. When we saw down, we saw that Krishna is shivering below the bed. We brought him out, gave him some water and put him to sleep. And then all the Brajavasis were laughing hearing this. So similarly, Nanda Baba spoke to Uddhava, explaining all the pastimes, how little Krishna used to depend on them, and you are talking foolishly that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Uddhava, when heard this explanation from Nanda Baba, he saw very closely that tears were flowing from the eyes of Nanda Baba, and Nanda Baba actually and Mother Yashoda had become blind. They had become blind in love of Krishna. So much they had love. So the reason I was telling is these things is because when the devotees of Vrindavan, their love was so oceanic, it actually flooded complete all and broke all the boundaries of Lord's emotion. And when the Lord saw that though I have left Vrindavan and gone, but these devotees have completely become mad behind me and they love me so much. And Lord become curious to know what is the beauty in my devotion. I should have to go and experience that. I should have to go and experience that. Thinking in this way, as I was mentioning, thinking in this way. Adi Leela, chapter 4, verse number 24. Adi Leela, chapter 4, verse number 24. You can open or show it on the screen also. Yes, thank you. Mata mora putra bhave karine bandana Mata mora putra karina bandana Atina jnana kore lalana palana Atina jnana kore lalana palana Saka Shuddha Sakya Kare Saka Shuddha Sakya Kare Sandhya Arohana Saka Shuddha Sakya Kare Sandhya Arohana Ikona Badaluka Tumami Sama Ikona Badaluka Tumami Sama Yaya Dimana Kare Kariya Bhastana Priyaya Dimana Kare Karaye Bharasana Veda Stuti Harte Hare Shri Mana Veda Stuti Harte Hare Shri Mana Shuddha Bhattaliya Please open the translation. So now the Lord is thinking like this, and I was explaining that being so attracted by the devotion of his devotees, he is expressing here. Mother sometimes binds me as her son. She nourishes and protects me, thinking me utterly helpless. My friends climb on my shoulder in pure friendship, saying, "What kind of big man are you? You and I are equal." My beloved's consort reproaches me with sulky mood that steals my mind from the reverent hymns of the Vedas. Next verse. Ei Shukti Bhakti Laya Karimo Avtara. Taking this pure devotion with me, I shall descend and spot in various wonderful ways, unknown even to Vaikuntha. I shall broadcast such pastimes by which even I am amazed. So, this is the deep emotions of the Supreme Lord. Now, I'm just speaking. My speaking is actually empty words, because these are very, very deep emotions of the Supreme Lord sitting in the spiritual world. How can a conditioned soul explain? How can a conditioned soul understand it? Because this devotion towards the Lord is so deep, so rich, it's so emotional, it is so high that it makes a person mad. But a person who's mad with material desires, the person who thinks that there is happiness in the material world, person who is engrossed in the bodily attachment, thinking that his body, his family, society, material world, everything in this material world is true. He is in the madness of Maya, illusion, always in contemplation of Sutta, Mita, Ramanira, Chinta, me, my family, society, wife, investments, and all these thoughts. A person in mad in this cannot understand these deep emotions and this deep rasa of the Supreme Lord. But still, the Lord is so merciful. When he comes as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he does not discriminate anyone, and indiscriminately he gives this devotion, which he himself wants to know, to the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So if one, that's why I was telling it is such a special day, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna, but now he comes as his own devotee for two reasons: to give devotion to everyone without any discrimination. Second thing is to taste himself that devotion. Now, how can we understand? Until we have mercy of some devotee, until we have faith on the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, on the faith. One has to be a gentleman to discriminate what is right and what is wrong, and the courage to follow the right path. This science, spiritual science, is meant for that category of people. Then you can understand the beautiful narration of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appearance. If you contemplate what I spoke, and then you imagine that Supreme Lord choose today's day to appear, then we can relate to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, which is mentioned in the scriptures. That is why it is very, very auspicious, actually, if we seek the mercy of Lord Chaitanya's devotees, who actually manifested with him, if we glorify them and beg for their mercy, through their mercy, actually we can get the mercy of Lord Krishna. That is why there is this beautiful glorification of the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Would you like to chant with me again? I can go on, Chaitanya Prabhu, Narottam Prabhu, some more time.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji, as much as you want.
Thank you. So today, anyways, is Sunday also. Yeah. So open Chaitanya Charitamrita, 3rd chapter, verse number 2. We will chant the verses. No, not this. 1 minute. Okay. First, we will go to the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, and then we will seek the mercy of his devotees. 1387. Adi Lila, 1387. So we all know, as I mentioned, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared as the son of Jagannath, Mishra, and Sachi Mata in the place right now where I'm sitting, less than half a kilometer in this direction where I'm sitting. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared right here, and so the appearance is narrated in these verses. He didn't appear like a normal child in 9 months. He gave an anxiety to the whole world around him. He appeared in the 13th month, actually. Yeah, thank you. Hoite hoite hoilo garba Mishra hoilo trasa Tata Divo Mishra Mishra hoilo trasa Nambara Chakravarti Kahila Galiya Nambara Chakravarti Kahila Galiya Vasha Putra Subhashana Paya Ei Masha Putra Subhashana Paya Chandra Sata Sata Shati Masaya Phalguna Gaura Sata Sata Shati Masaya Phalguna Purnamasi Satyakali Aila Shubhakshana Purnamasi Satyakali Aila Shubhakshana Kalanka Gaura Chandra Leela Darshana Simharashi Simhala Unchagrahagana Simharashi Simhala Unchagrahagana Shadavarta Ashtaraja Satvasudakana Shadavarta Ashtaraja Satvasudakana Akalanka Gaura Chandra Leela Dakshana Akalanka Gaura Chandra Leela Dakshana Akalanka Chandra Anand Konakayana Akalanka Chandra Konakayana Jani Rahu Kaila Chandra Grahana Jani Rahu Kaila Chandra Grahana Krishna Krishna Hari Name Vase Tribhuvane Krishna Krishna Hari Name Vase Tribhuvana Jaya Jaya Dwani Hoita Shakala Bhuvana Jaya Jaya Dwani Shakala Bhuvana Chamatkara Hayya Loka Bhave Mana Mane Chamatkara Hayya Loka Bhave Mana Mana Jagata Varya Hare Hari Hari Jagata Varya Hare Hari Hari Shane Gaura Krishna Bhumi Avatari Shane Gaura Bhumi Avatari Prasanna Hori Nasa Jagate Ramana Prasanna Hori Nasa So this is a beautiful narration of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Hoite hoite hoilo garbha trayodasha mas. In this way, the pregnancy approached the 13th month, but still there was no sign of the delivery of the child. Thus Jagannath Mishra, the father of Lord Chaitanya, became greatly apprehensive, and the grandfather Nimbarkar Chakravarti then did an astrological calculation and said that the very month, taking advantage of an auspicious moment, the child would take birth. Thus, in the year 1407 of the Shaka era, in the month of Phalgun, February, March, in the evening of full moon day, which is today, Gaur Purnima, as described, auspicious moment arrived. According to the Jyotir Veda or Vedic astrology, the auspicious birth moment was described. The moon was in Leo. Leo was the ascendant. Several planets were strongly positioned, and Shadavarga and Ashtavarga showed all auspicious influence. When the spotless moon of Lord of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became visible, what would be the need for the moon full of black marks on its body? Considering this, Rahu, the black planet, covered the full moon, and immediately vibration of Krishna, Krishna, Hari inundated in the three worlds. All people thus chanted Hare Krishna mantra during the lunar eclipse. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chose the moment of lunar eclipse because everyone chants the holy name, the Mahamantra at that time. When the whole world, next verse, when the whole world was thus chanting the holy name of the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna, in the form of Gaur Hari advented, Krishna in the form of Gaur Hari advented himself on the earth. The whole world was pleased. While the Hindu chanted holy name of the Lord, the non-Hindus, especially the Muslims, jokingly imitated the word. It is said that Hindus would say, Hari, 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 Hari. Like that, the devotees would chant, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So the Muslims would teach them by chanting, Hari, Hari, Hari Bol, like this. So it indicates that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chose this moment when everyone was chanting the holy name, that his mission was to make the world chant the holy name. Next verse. While all the ladies vibrated the holy name, Hari in the earth, in the heavenly planet, dancing and music were going on. For the demigods were very curious. In this atmosphere, and the 10 directions become jubilant, as did the waves of rivers. Moreover, all being, moving and non-moving, were overwhelmed with transcendental bliss. So today, evening, when you see the moon will rise, if you very carefully observe, you can see that this moon of today will be very, very, very different, Purnima. And it will be golden, more golden than any time else when you see the moon, Purnima. Very golden, very special. And those who have faith in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they will be able to see that Gaura Sundar has manifested to shower his mercy upon us. That is why to understand this, we have to take the mercy of the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chant the holy name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By the devotees' mercy only, we can actually understand Chaitanya Charitamrita. Even Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he mentions when he's describing the birth of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the same chapter 13, he actually takes the mercy of the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. That is why through the line of parampara, through the association of devotees only, it is possible to understand the advent and the avatar of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why from here, from the advent of Lord Chaitanya, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he actually narrates Chaitanya Charitamrita in a sequence. Before that, he explains internal, external reasons, positions, and about the Guru Parampara. He goes on. When it comes from this chapter, he directs. So we can conclude our this session by praying to the devotees of Lord Chaitanya and the Guru Parampara for their mercy. First canto of Adilila, 13th chapter, verse number 2. Adilila, 13th chapter, the same chapter, Advent of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, verse number 2. Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna. Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna. Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna. Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna. Chaitanya Gaura Chandra. Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna. Chaitanya Gaura Chandra. Jaya Dvaita Chandra. Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra. Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Gadadhar. Jaya Srinivasa. Jaya Jaya Gadadhar. Jaya Srinivasa. Jaya Mukunda Vasudeva. Jaya Haridasa. Jaya Mukunda Vasudeva. Jaya Haridasa. Jaya Damodara. Jaya Murari Gupta. Jaya Damodara. Jaya Murari Gupta. Jai Sabachandra. Kamakaya Lukta. Jai Sabachandra. Kamakaya Lukta. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Chandra. Bhakta Chandra Gana. Jaya Shri Krishna Chandra. Bhakta Chandra Gana. Sabharate Ujjvala Tribhuvana. Sabharate Ujjvala Tribhuvana. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar. Shri Vasadi Gauranga. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shri Vasani Gauranga Krishna Chaitanya Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare So in this way, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with this internal and external desires to deliver the world with the love which he himself wants to relish, appears in this moment, in this Kali Yuga. So that's why it's called Dhanya Kali, a Bhagyavana Kali, for the people who come in contact with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is a very, very deep subject, though I'm so unqualified. It's said that unrealized soul, when he speaks on this subject, is actually a blank fire, empty words. But by the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas, and especially my Shiksha Guru, Shri Gaur Govind Maharaj, by whom I have developed a little bit taste to understand Lord Chaitanya. I spoke whatever I heard from him. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and patiently hearing. Hare Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Sachinandan Shri Gaur Sundar Bhagwan ki, Prema Purushottam Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Thai Gaur Premanande. Hare Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. So I'll stop here.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Would you like to take some questions if people have?
Yeah, no problem. I don't think so there should be any questions after this, but I'll definitely comment on something. If someone has any comment or some query, I will definitely.
So if devotees in Gada Hall have any question, then maybe they can first ask.
Okay, I think you can conclude with this.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much
Okay.
for your time and for your wonderful narration on Chaitanya Charitamrita today.
Hare Krishna.
There seems to be some question in the Gada Hall by the boys.
Yeah, So if you can unmute and speak, and I will try to. Is there a question, Chaitanya Prabhu? Yes, go ahead. Devbrat Prabhu, some wants to ask the question.
Yeah, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, Prabhuji, I was going through the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji, and there I read that once his mother, she saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in form of Krishna. Is it true, Prabhuji? In like a complete form of Krishna.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I don't remember, honestly speaking. Him showing in the dream, he showed once. That's what I remember once. But definitely by his footprints, he was having the footprints of Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. So the beauty of is just like, the beauty of Krishna consciousness, who is absorbed in loving devotional service of the Supreme Lord, is like this. Just like we all in the material world know, and Prabhuji is always telling us, material world is temporary. It is suffering only here. It is always, body is temporary. We will lose all the body, relative, society, family, and then we will go away, leaving everything over here only. That is why it is important to perform devotional service. Knowing all these things, the nasha of Maya makes us so mad that we cannot come out of. Isn't it true?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Applying the same madness when it's on Krishna. Our acharyas, they explain, Nanda Baba Made Yashoda and even Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra many times were told by the villagers, your son is not a normal personality. He has all the simpler symptoms of Mahapurush, of a great personality, of a Supreme Lord, some demigod. We would hear all these things. Just like we forget the good advice of a sadhu, they would forget out of their love towards the Lord. And Lord makes that happen through the Yoga Maya. Even if they know the Lord is Krishna, but they would just forget it and love him as their own son. This is called pure love, pure prema. From that point of view, yes, definitely. Many times Nanda Baba and Yashoda, many of them felt and they were told that it's Krishna. And Krishna also showed many times, but they would always forget that and think that he is apna kanai. So that's how philosophically it is, yes, possible. But I have not come across Chaitanya Chaitamrit. I don't remember it. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, it was also like written that during like when he was going to leave, he was absorbed in the idol of Lord Krishna. So
Yes,
what is
I saw that
like?
DT. You can come to Puri and see that DT. It's
Okay.
the Gopinath. It's there. Chota Gopinath in Puri. We will be going in this Kartik. You can join us. It is
Okay, Prabhuji.
everything what is mentioned in Chaitanya Chaitamrita is true. That's it. Everything in Krishna consciousness philosophy is true. That's the conclusion.
Okay, Prabhuji.
And
Hare
how to
Krishna.
develop faith towards this? By performing devotion and association of devotee. Okay, so I think I'm done. There are no more questions. Okay,
There is a
welcome.
question. There's a question in the chat box by Rahul, who is saying that Krishna is very kind, but he demands surrender, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not. So what does this mean?
That is the only difference between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna. They are all same. There is no difference. It is said there is no difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The only difference is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more merciful than Krishna. That is the difference. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is this verse few days ago. I gave a class wherein Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Banaras, and when he's in Banaras, he actually he meets people start criticizing, why are you doing this sentimental preaching and all that. So then when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to know this, that the Mayavadi sannyasis, they say that look, this man, you are trying to preach here, but nobody is going to be interested to hear you. Nobody is going to be interested to hear you over here. You have to go back with your shop, like that. So then in that, actually, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned, I think, in that light, in that, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned that though I have come here with the highest treasure of the spiritual world, I feel people are not qualified. I don't want to see the qualification of people. Let me give it indiscriminately. There is a difference. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very merciful. And all of us who are sitting here, if we are sitting here and able to understand the philosophy of Krishna consciousness with all our unqualification, is only by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. That is why it is called, though Kali Yuga is a place where very sinful people take birth. Kali Yuga is a place where there is only quarrels. But anyone who becomes a devotee of Lord Chaitanya is considered as very Bhagyavanaji. It's considered very, 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 very fortunate. Very, 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 very fortunate. Because though he is so unqualified, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving them pure devotion. I hope that answers your question, Rahul. Look at ourselves. You don't have to check anyone else. Look at your own self, everyone. And you ask yourself, how I become a devotee? It's mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, please tell us who is Bharatji on Lord Rama in Krishna Leela and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. Like we know, right, the Bharatji is exclusive in Ramayana also only. Lord, actually, all the four, Lord Rama, Lakshman, Bharat and Shatrughan, they are actually the four forms of the Supreme Lord only. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in that way, he was not different from the Supreme Lord, Bharatji. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in one way, Lord Bharat, Lakshman, Shatrughan, all of in one. But I have not come across Bharatji's expansion, Lakshmanji, Nityananda Prabhu, they say Lord Balaram, like that. If I come across, I'll share that with you definitely. So I'll stop here, Northern Prabhu, Chaitanya Prabhu.
I think they have a question in Gada Hall for you.
So they have to unmute, no? They're not able to unmute, then they can text the question or they can call me. Lot of time.
Okay, they are done, Prabhuji. I think we can conclude now.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.